Hi blessed people, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If it's your first time here, my name is Judita, and today I want us to talk about idolizing your spouse. So we serve a God who is jealous. We have scriptures to back what I'm saying, okay? We serve a jealous God, and he does not want us to serve any other God. He wants us to serve him and to worship him and him alone, right? Now, when we talk about idols, a lot of people, their heads start going to carvings in the village and stuff and man-made items and all, right? But do you know that you can actually make an idol out of your partner, out of a desire that you have in your heart? You can make an idol out of anything. So today I just want to call us to order. I just want to remind you that your spouse cannot and should not be idolized. No matter the kind of spouse that you have. I know the people I'm talking to because I've been there. Now, I said in the video I filmed a couple of years back that my husband was and is, okay? I think I filmed that video like 4 years back. My husband was and still is an amazing husband. He's a provider, he's loving, he's thoughtful, he's patient, right? And there's just a lot of things that can bring you to a point where you start to idolize somebody. And in this video, I would like to talk about idolizing your spouse and idolizing the institution of marriage. It's very easy for a wife who is rightly loved to get to a point where she places her partner, her husband, in a position of almost God or God. Now, let me explain to you guys something. Back then, I used to feel safe, not because of the knowledge that I had of the fact that God has my back, and that it is not over till I win, and that the path of the just shines brighter and brighter unto a perfect day. It was not because I had the consciousness of Christ in me. Most of the times I felt confident and I felt secure because I had my husband. And that's because he had proven time and again without number that he has my back and still does have my back, right? So it's easy for you to get to that point. And I think my knowledge of who God is then was a little shallow. So I couldn't see past the person that was doing the provision. I couldn't see past the person that was being my everything, my strength, my friend, my partner, everything in one, right? So it was easy for me to put my husband in that position of God in my life. If I was in a situation where I was troubled, the first thing I would do is I'll call my husband. I will think of my husband. I won't think about, oh, God can get me out of this thing. And I'm not saying that we should not see the protectors and the providers and the warmth and the strength that comes with a male partner or with a partner that is being protective and just being who a partner, who a husband is supposed to be to you as a wife, right? I'm not saying that, but there's this needed consciousness and acknowledgement of the fact that everything you're getting from your husband, from your partner, it is only passing through him from God. It took challenges in our marriage. It took financial challenges, especially. It took my husband not being able to do all those things that he found them very easy to do for me to wake up and say, God, it's actually you. It took a hard time for me to actually get to realize that the strength that this man has is coming from you. So I better be looking up to you. I better be looking up to you. The power of provision does not lie in the hands of my husband. I listened to a message by Pastor Kingsley, and I got to realize that's when I took my finances seriously. That's when I started saying, okay, what can I do? That's when I started setting yearly targets of how much I want to earn. That's when I started saying, okay, I became more conscious because I then realized that the God that I serve can bless my husband, but he can also bless me. I'm also a vessel. Okay, so I was just in that place where this man was everything. And I'm not saying that your husband you should not have reverence for your husband, you should not honor your husband, no. But I'm saying that you should be conscious of the fact that when there's an issue, who do you run to first? It shouldn't be your husband. It shouldn't be your husband. And that's why a lot of times when I hear people saying, I know that those things that people say just out of, oh, lovey-dovey, they're just in love, they say, oh, you're my everything, you're my all and all. My husband is not my everything. God is my everything. Because even without my husband, God is there for me. Even before you met your partner that you are now idolizing, God was there. And let's talk about people that are idolizing the institution of marriage. People who desire to be married. You know, you get to that point where Nothing satisfies you unless you get married. You're at that point where you want to get married, and that's all you want. You want to get married. You know that, in fact, in your own books of your timing, your time is right. This is the time, this is the age. If it passes this time, you will not be able to have children, you will not be able to do this. And these are all the things that the devil amplifies in your head, and then makes you now to start idolizing that institution. And it gets you to a place where you find it difficult to thank God for the little things. You know, recently I started making it a habit to thank God for the ability to drink water, the ability to laugh, the ability to pee, the ability to swallow. Oh my God, I recently started thanking God for the ability to swallow my spit, because I was speaking to one lady. I wasn't speaking to her, she sent an audio to us to listen, because if you watch my house hunting video, you would know that the lady that was supposed to rent a house got into a very bad accident, and after that accident she lost her ability to swallow. She was in pain, though she's recovering, thank God, but she was in pain at that time. And so she was crying, and she was sending us an audio, and she was trying to explain to us what happened, because we thought that she had just, because we're not able to get to her for months after having made deposits, right? So we're like, is she trying to play us? Is she trying to? So she had to send us now that audio, but she was even unable to speak. So when I heard her cry, she was saying, I cannot even swallow my spit. And then immediately she said that she burst into tears. That was like a light bulb moment to this, that you can swallow, you can think, you can walk, you can urinate. There are people that they have to send pipes into their body. You guys, we have a lot to be thankful for, but because we have idolized that one desire, that one thing that we feel like is so pressing, so important, that's what we need now, forgetting the fact that God's time is different from ours. We're in a haste. God can give you speed, but He's never in a haste. We're always in a haste. God He has speed in His hands. He can redeem the times for you, but He's not in a haste. He's not in a haste because He has time in His hands. So I just want to call us to order. If you're a wife and you have a very loving husband, please do not idolize your husband. God is supreme. God can do and undo. God is the one that provides for you and your family. Even if you're that wife that, because for those years, most especially, I was in a place where I couldn't provide for myself, but I never lacked anything. I never felt like I never needed to ask my husband down to pad. There were times when he will go out and he will buy, and I'll not even know. And then maybe I'll look at my Flow app and I'll see that I'm giving you guys a little bit of TMI, but it's important for you guys to know the depth of the provision and the love that I felt from my husband, to get to the point where I feel that I can idolize, I should, or I can. There's just a lot of things that he has done without, like, being very selfless, right? Down to things that minor things, like even changing my toothbrush. My husband was and even till now, that I can make money and do those things for myself, my husband still does them. It's in his nature to be able to do that for me, right? And those are things that I appreciate. I love him for it. I thank him, and I really, I'm just in a place where I honor him for all of those things, right? But I cannot idolize him. He is not my source. My source is God. He's a channel. God is you, and there are other channels that I have in my life, but my husband is one of the main channels that God has used to bless me and to give me joy and to show me like a glimpse of the love that Christ has for us, right? I'm saying this to say that there are a lot of pampered wives out there. There are a lot of women whose husbands love them, even though the narrative in the world now is different. But it's because these women don't talk. They don't come out and talk, and that's why the voices of bad marriages is louder, right? But I'm going to say it today. There are a lot of pampered wives. There are a lot of young women who are loved and spoiled by their husbands, and it's easy if you've never been in a place where you see the weakness of this man. And I said in that video that God is capable of crippling your partner, of making your partner look like nothing to you, just to show you that you have been doing wrong. You have been idolizing him. You have put him in a place where he does not belong. Your partner does not belong in the place of God in your life. Your partner is not your source. Your partner is there to provide love, provide whatever it is that is needed. But then the source is God. It comes from God through your partner. Your finances comes from God through your job. It comes from God through the giftings that he has given to you. So I just want to bring us to this awareness. And if you're that person that is idolizing the institution of marriage, I came across a video, and I'm just going to read the comment that I found on this video, and it was just so amazing. So this couple, they were talking about why people idolize marriage, and somebody shared how they got to a point where they stopped idolizing marriage, and they said What I did to stop idolizing marriage is to think about how I would live my life if I never ended up getting married ever. What would I do? You want to think about that. What hobbies would I pick up? What kind of single woman would I want to be? What would I do to find happiness being just with myself and God? Wow. When I was reading this, I was just like, this is amazing. Once I started thinking that way, that's what she's saying. Once I started thinking that way, I started to do those things and enjoy being single. It caused me to become closer to God in such a way that I barely focused on men at all or marriage. The crazy thing is, once I completely focused on loving and enjoying myself and God, men began to notice, and then they began to see me more as a wife. As a wife material, as she says. Even with that, I still take my time in dating, and I'm not at a desperate place anymore. So I can really see a man for who he is and the fruits he bears. Hallelujah, somebody. I read this comment, I was like, I need to share it with you guys. It's just amazing. I love it. I love it for her. I love it. Somebody else says that, okay, let me read this last comment. Somebody else says that the things that have helped me to stop idolizing marriage is that having deep friendships with married women. Exposure to reality cures fantasy. Take that down. Even in the godliest marriages, it is not perfect. There is a cost. There is a cost. Sure, there is joy too, but it is a privilege as much as it is a responsibility. This makes me want to keep growing as a single woman, no matter what's next. 2, she says, I travel. I got 3 degrees and I built a life that I love. Years ago, I was putting my life on hold, and then I stopped all of that. I started taking solo trips, girls trips. I decided to enjoy my life and build memories and relationships that matter, whether a husband is in the picture or not. And that's on period. And that's on Jesus is Lord. I love, when I saw these comments, I was like, nah, I cannot leave you guys out of it. I was like, I'm going to share it with you. That's it. You cannot, I'm in a phase where, like I said, I'm taking my finances very seriously. I want to be a rich wife, a rich woman who is available for her kids. So I'm constantly thinking of, how can I do this from where I am? I don't want anything that's going to take all of my time. People have done it. And you guys, I'm consciously and intentionally following women that I see doing this thing that I want to achieve. And I'm consciously setting targets, working towards them, learning how to save, learning how to take opportunities, learning a lot of things. But one of the things I'm not allowing myself to do is to get to a place where I begin to idolize my desire for finances, or I begin to look at other people who are doing it a certain way, who have more than me, women my age, and I feel jealous. No, I'm calling myself to order daily. And it's something that you have to keep doing and keep doing and keep doing. And to be honest, it's not like I've never been that person that, because I don't have a materialistic nature, so it comes naturally to me to be at peace with my finances, whatever level it is. But now I'm trying to get myself to a place where I know, Judy, that you have to work for it. If you want it, you have to work. You have to put in the work. You have to, the Bible says that if you don't work, be ready to sleep hungry. It doesn't say that if you are married, know that your husband will feed you. No, it didn't say that. It didn't say that. I had like a whole liberation when I listened to a message by Pastor Kingsley where he said that God can bless the home through the woman. It doesn't have to be the husband. God can bless the home through the woman. And when you get married, it doesn't mean that your talents and your giftings are dead. So wake up and do something. Use it. Whether from home, whether out of the home, use it as much. Use your giftings, especially because the Bible says that your gifts are going to make room for you, right? Anyways, I think I've come to the end of this video. The point is, do not idolize anything. Your desire for wealth, your desire for a husband, do not idolize it. The husband that you have that is so amazing, so good, so loving, so kind, do not idolize him. I tell you, when you even idolize your partner, right, you're putting your partner at risk, because God is a jealous God. Don't come and be making your husband as if he's God, and then God now gets angry. Ha! Hey, don't put your husband in competition with God, because he cannot win. He cannot win. Anyways, I hope that this message was for somebody that has watched this video. I pray it blesses you. I pray it changes your perspective on things. I will see you guys on the next video. Every Sunday we make videos like this, so tune in and watch and be blessed, and of course share on your status for those who are interested to also be blessed. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.